yet again, it seems that Simone and Quad are still not on good terms, which is kind of weird to me because I mean, given last season and given the reunion, I thought Quad had pretty much made amends and she had made up with all the ladies, but come to find out, her and Simone are still not on good terms, and I'm wondering, like, why is that? Like, why can they never seem to get on the right track? And sometimes, I have to, take a deeper dive into things. And, one thing that I did gather is that it seems like when it comes to Quad, I mean, and mind you, Quad has been on the platform of Married to Medicine since day one. So, we all love some Miss Quad. But to me, I feel like what Dr. Simone is trying to project onto everyone is the fact that Quad doesn't present herself as a friend when it comes to the show. And the show is all about their camaraderie. It's all about them being together. It's all about their friendships, embracing their friendships and one another. And I feel like Simone looks at it as if Quad only demonstrates that when the cameras are rolling, and when the cameras stop, Quad is almost as if she doesn't know who the ladies are. And I think that is what Dr. Simone has an issue with. And I don't know if she's kind of alluded to that or if she's pretty much just come right out and said it, but it seems like that's where the problem lies. And honestly, if I was, someone, filming, I would feel the exact same way. I want you to be as authentic on the camera as you would be off the camera. And I feel like when the cameras are up and they're rolling all in your face or what have you, if you're only there just for a show, and then once the cameras are away, I don't hear from you again, like, I do feel some sort of way about that. So I think that's where Dr. Simone has her issues with Quad, and I think that's why they can never get over this hump that they continuously have. And it's starting to become a bigger situation than what we had imagined. And I mean, who's to know if it's ever going to be resolved at this point? Because even them putting together the Whitnick, Dr. Simone didn't even have in mind to invite Quad. So yet again, it almost feels like last season when they wanted to leave Quad out of their activities, the things that they were doing together. And I'm hoping it's not going to be this way this season. But one thing I will say is this: I did like, when I saw first episode, I did like the fact that Cecil jumped in, and this is what I call it. It was very heroic, so to speak, because you can tell that Cecil didn't want to see a repeat of what's been happening from season to season. And I know that he knows deep down inside there is a friendship there. And I feel the same way too, honestly. I mean, me as a viewer, me on the outside looking in, I feel like there's a genuine friendship there. But I feel like also too, when it comes to Quad, that she really doesn't know how to allow a person in. And sometimes that can be that... The fact that Quad is that way sometimes can cause a hindrance when it comes to relationships, friendships, what have you. And I feel like Quad she has a wall up for whatever reason. I have no idea, but I feel like Quad is afraid to, tear down the walls, because I don't know if she really knows what she's gonna get, or I feel like she doesn't want to open up too much. She doesn't want to divulge any information that could possibly be used against her. I don't know what the situation is, but for whatever reason, Quad is, she does have a wall that's built up, and it's not just with Dr. Simone. You can tell that she is that way with all the other ladies, and I feel like, though, even though she's pleaded that she will be a different person, she has apologized to each and every one of them, you can still tell that, you know, the wall is still there. So again, hence the roadblock that, you know, Dr. Simone is having with her. But again, it's good to see that Cecil did invite. He actually, you know, went to Quad, sat down with her, and I'm not even gonna say that there was any malicious intent behind that. You know, he did that because he truly wanted to see the camaraderie, you know, with the ladies again. You know, like it's one thing I will say about Married to Medicine is when you watch that show is all about their togetherness. I mean, you know, regardless of whether they are, you know, bickering, whether they are having fights, arguments, what have you, it's always about the togetherness, and not even just with the ladies, but amongst the couples, you know. So I feel like Cecil feels like he wants to have, Quad to have some inclusion, you know, with their dynamic, and he doesn't want that to change. So I commend him for doing it. For more information like this plus more, make sure you guys subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to like and comment as well. And a new episode is coming your way this week.